We're going to jump right into it. This for anybody who trying to stop smoking weed, right? I smoked weed for 14 years, and it's been like 10, 12 years since I stopped. So in this video, we're going to break down the title. I think it's time to stop, right? We're going to go over some things and some indicators that may be used to help you realize it's time for you to stop. You right? So once I give them to you, you got a little more accountability. But what you do with it is up to you, right? You can watch it and then light up. You can smoke while you're watching it. You're your own person. I'm just going to show you some things and tell you some things that I think you should know and to help you realize if it's time for you to stop. Especially if you watching this and you need help. It's really for you, right? So let's get into it. I got a list. So I'm going to just read off my list, but I'm not going to read the list. It's just little guidelines. No longer a social smoker, right? So if you at the point to where you tucking your weed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not doing it for fun. You got to wake up, hit your blunt. You get up with your people. They smoke, but instead of sharing the wealth, instead of sharing is caring, you kind of wait till you leave, stuff like that. You might hit the blunt a few times first, get your little buzz going, and then you share it with your people. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I got a little half a joint or whatever. Like, if you're not social with it no more, and you starting to become a little more dependent, right? It might be time for you to, that might be a sign that, you heading down the wrong path. It's not one of them you could pick up and put down like you may think. Like, now you headed down that I need it, right? I'm that person. I wake up in the morning. Well, used to. Everything that I say, is past tense. I wake up and I gotta hit a blunt. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't social. It wasn't fun. And that's how this started out. It started out as fun and cool. So that's the first one, man. Man. The second one is my father-in-law, right? He used to say stuff like, you a green crackhead, right? Oh, man. I'm sorry. Y'all got to see this real quick. This is the type of shit that's going on in the town. He hanging on. Y'all can see him? Look, he about to pull off. He telling them don't go nowhere with it. I'm sorry. I know that's in the middle of the video, but y'all had to see. Look at him. They about to fuck around and kill. Oh, they about to mess around and kill Buddy. Y'all see him? But anyways, let's get back to it. We call this green crackhead, right? That's what he used to call me. He used to call me a green crackhead, bro. And at the time, I would laugh because I wasn't really trying to stop smoking. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he would call me a green. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me pause the video. They got some stuff going on. Hold on. I'm back, y'all. Let's lock in. So green crackhead activities. That's the type of stuff where you might, like me, I would do stuff like, yo, where the weed at? Where the good bud at? Right. I was always in search of the good bud, right? Like the Pineapple Express, I'm always in search of it. And when somebody told me it was there or they lit it up and I smelt it and I asked them where they got it from and they told me, you better believe I was going to get it straight up. I'm going. They say, oh, go to this street to the back door, knock on the third window on the right, not the other two. Make sure you come the third window from the right, go through the alley, knock on the back door. You know what I'm saying? And then, they're going to serve you. I ain't had no problem with it. I'm like, damn, they said, which house? I'm going. You know what I'm saying? I'm on that mission. Green crackhead activities, right? Green crackhead. I'm doing stuff I don't got no business doing. Jeopardizing safety. I'm wild. I'm wilding with it. That's crazy. Like, if you doing that type of stuff, yeah, go ahead and give it up, right? You doing too much. Anything else I want to say on that? Yeah, sketchy places. If you just doing anything out the norm, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's time to just go ahead and put it down. Go ahead and, this might be an indicator, right? Because these are indicators. Next, we're going to hit off the dumb activities, right? The stupid, right? I never forget. Rest in peace, my grandma. One day she was hungry, right? She was blind, so she depended on me. So She was hungry. I came home. I'm like, oh, I got you, Grandma. I'm going to whip something up. High as a kite. You know what I'm saying? Feeling nice. Man, I go downstairs. I'm like, what's down here? As you already know, it's hard to make decisions on it. So I'm like, oh, excuse me, instant mashed potatoes. Let's whip these up for her. You know, it took me like 25 minutes to make instant mashed potatoes. I'm reading the directions over and over. You know, I'm doing all this stuff that's not necessary to just make them. You know, I made them a million times. Like I could have made them without reading instructions, but the high activities, the dumb activities I was doing, right? You know, I've done stuff like went to the gas station, bought the gas, you know, got down the street a little bit and realized like, damn, I'm still on E. Only to go back to the gas station and realize you bought the gas, but you didn't put it in your car. You just bought it and pulled off. You know, that short memory, you know, the dumb stuff. If you're starting to do the dumb stuff, it might be time to let it go. Then we're going to go over to the effort mentality, right? The lazy, right? I'll do it later, you know, fluff it. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be trying to curse on here, you know, effort. I'll do it later. You know, I had plans. I said I was going to do this. I said I was going to do that. If you doing that, you saying you're going to go somewhere or you know, you got some business to take care of. You know what I'm saying? And you hit that blunt and it turned into yeah, that's another one. That's an indicator you're headed down the wrong path. You know what I'm saying? Like I forgot what J. Cole said. What he said, the good news is you came a long way. The bad news is you went the wrong way, right? You headed the wrong way. Then, you know, we got another one, which is opportunities I'm missing out on, right? So the opportunity you may be missing. I had I know a few people, right? Neither one of them smoke. I was hanging out with them one day, right? I was hanging with these two people and they both own houses. They drive new cars, you know, living the life, enjoying life. And they know I'm smart. They know I could be doing it, you know, stuff like that. So they tell me like, yo, man, go ahead, get down with the program. You know what I'm saying? Lock in with us. And, you know, you can come work with, you know, do what we do. And they work for the city. They're like, you know, you could do all that. And I tell them, I'm good where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I make good money doing what I'm doing. I was delivering pizzas and they, you know, one of them kind of looked at me, laughed, and I was making good money, but you know what I'm saying? But like, I was at the ceiling and, you know, I love my pizza delivery job. So I'm not knocking it at all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody delivering pizzas, be safe, you know, or delivering food in general, be safe. You know, if you in the field, you might like it. You understand what I'm saying? But anyways, he hits me and he tell me like, you just want to work somewhere where you can still smoke weed. I'm like, damn, we ain't even that cool for you to be talking to me like that. You know what I'm saying? But it stung and I knew it was real. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if you one of those people where, you know, I want you to think about it. Like, is it things that I'm missing out on? Like if I stop smoking, what's that job that I wanted or what's that, you know, opportunity or whatever it is, right? What is it? And once you realize that, you know, do a trajectory. Like if I was to stop smoking and I was to start doing that, where would I be at 6 months, a year down the line compared to if I just continue to just keep smoking, rolling up, you know, living my life the way I'm living it? Like, where would I be? Now, I'm not necessarily saying either that you can't accomplish nothing in life if you smoke weed, right? I know people who smoke weed and, you know, shit, look at Snoop Dogg. He smoked weed and he where he is. You know, it's a lot of people. I'm just saying if you want to quit, these are some things you should look at to help you. You know what I'm saying? To help you understand that, yeah, you ready. And the most important one to me is letting myself down, right? As you know, if you telling yourself you might want to stop and you know, you haven't, or, you know, you think about stopping and you haven't, or any of that type of stuff, you just know that letting yourself down is no worse feeling, right? I felt so bad about saying I'm going to do it and not doing it, right? Letting me down. And that was just it, man. You know, so if you going through that right there, or you have situations where you letting yourself down, you feel like you letting you down, right? It's time to stop. You might pick that blunt up and don't feel like you letting yourself down, right? But if you feel like you is, it's time for you to, you know, start thinking about stopping. So if any of these do hit you, it's more like a wake up. It ain't for you to just stop. It's more like a wake up call for you. Now, if any of these indicators, you know, hit home, then this is a place for you to start, right? And it's gonna lead right into the next episode because this is a series, right? It's gonna get way deeper. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it raw. You know what I'm saying? This just the intro, right? To kind of gather that crowd and let you know that it is somebody here rooting for you, campaigning for you. You know, I know that it might take a year to stop. You know, I'll just tell you that. I don't want to get too deep into other things, but it took me a year from the day I said I was gonna stop till when I stopped. You know what I'm saying? So I'm on your side. I got your back. I understand what you're going through. I'm not here with the fluff. I'm not trying to make perfect videos. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to look pretty. No, none of that. I'm just bringing the raw and the real to you and the help. So if you interested in that, you know what I'm saying? That's my little call to action. Just subscribe, you know, so you're not going to miss nothing and you can keep up with it. And, you know, it's a small channel, so it's easy for me to not be, you know, in your algorithm. And, if it's anything that, put your reasons you might think it's time to stop. Put them in the comments. You know, I read them. I'm going to get back up to you, you know, check back up with you. So just subscribe, man, so you don't miss out. Or ma'am, you know, I say man, but I'm not talking directly to men. Subscribe and get with the channel. And that's it. We're going to get into the next one. I don't want to spoil it, but I do want to drill this in. Some of these, like, some of the stuff I'm saying and how I'm saying it, or how I'm going to be saying it, you might get lost. Like, you might not be in the algorithm. So, and it might not push them. So this is a way for you to tap in. Also, just, you know, search the channel. The channel is in there. You know, Mr. Black Jewel, just search the channel and skip all them other videos. You know what I'm saying? Those are good videos, but they're not for you, for what we doing right here. But just sometimes you might have to search so you can see, you know, if something else came out, just in case you missed it or your notification or whatever the case may be. But it's going to lead into the next episode. The next one lead directly into this. I'll see y'all on the next one.